So what is the oneness? I gave a lecture at Brigham Young University last year, and I was talking about the art of the interview, the art of bonding with people and having a great interview. And I mentioned on a couple occasions the oneness, seeing the oneness in people, and how that will help you establish credibility. It's very important when you go to interview people that they not feel judged. And I think that the deepest understanding, the deepest connection with people, especially strangers, involves the oneness. So one of the students asked me at the end of the lecture, "What do you mean by oneness?" I don't know that I had a great definition of it, but when I think of the oneness, the best way to describe it is everybody that I see, the homeless person, the criminal, the felon, people that are disgusting things, people that are ugly things, people that are some things that I am, things I might not like about myself. Everything I see, I think, that would be me if ... That person would be me if I was born to the same parents, at the same point in history, in the same environment, with the same inherited DNA, with the same stresses, with the same diet, with the same everything. Seeing life through their eyes, with their DNA that passed through them, environment, etc., everything, that would be you if. And if we look at other people and we think, I'm so much better than these people, I'm so much better than them. Yeah, you're better than them. Why? We give ourselves entirely too much credit. There are some things that are out of our control, like hitting the birth lottery. There's a lot of things that are in our control, a lot of things that are out of our control. At the time in history you were born in this current incarnation of yourself, time you didn't have any control over that. If you were born in 72, you didn't have control over that. I was born in 72. You didn't have any control of that. You didn't get to pick your parents before you came. You didn't get to pick a lot of things. And for a lot of years, you didn't get to pick a lot of things either. For a lot of years in your childhood, you didn't get to pick a lot of things. A lot of decisions were made for you. There is a point of empowerment where you wake up and you realize that you're powerful beyond control, that you've been largely misled, and that you can manifest things. If you use this weapon, the best weapon in history, if you learn to use it, and you learn to think the right thoughts, and you learn to put the right energy out there, and you learn about the laws of karma and some other physical laws of the universe, you learn that, hey, I have a lot of control over my life. I get to choose my reactions. I get it. But for a lot of years, you're inheriting a lot of things. And these other people, when you look at the oneness, if you're like me, I used to be very judgmental. It's ironic, I was not judgmental as a reporter. Being a reporter was the one place where I could suspend judging other people. I would go in, if I went into a prison, if I went anywhere, I did not allow myself to judge people. I was very fair, and I continue to be very fair as an interviewer. In fact, people that are flawed, I like to understand them rather than judge them. I've always sought to understand them and to make sense of them. And then when I get more facts about them, about what created them, even if they are a monster, what made the monster? And when you gather more facts and more pieces of the puzzle, it rarely surprises you. You're like, oh, I get it. I get it. They were, in a lot of instances, they were set up to fail, man. The card that were dealt weren't so great. And people say, oh, well, my card was dealt and it sucked too, and so that's no excuse, whatever. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. But the reality is, it doesn't surprise you. When you see people that are sort of monstrous, it doesn't surprise you. People that surprise you are people that have their stuff together or seem to have it together, and then you hear all the crazy things that happen to them in their life. You're like, wow, how did they do that? That's pretty incredible, right? But in the oneness, it does. It makes us, it's made me more compassionate and more empathetic to people. It's helped me relate more to people. Just realizing that they would be me if I walked every day in their shoes, every day in their life, and met all of the circumstances and had the same brain chemistry and the same DNA and the same everything, I'd probably be them. I'd probably be exactly them. As much as I want to think that I'm incredible, right? As much as I want to think I'm awesome and I would make, yes, this Frank is very resilient and very determined, but in this, with the way the hand was dealt, I mean, I had certain parenting, and you change that, you change me. Maybe I wouldn't have made it. Maybe I would have been a lot more bad things. Maybe I wouldn't have graduated college if you just shifted some things around. A lot of the good things that have happened to me might not have happened. So that would be me if, as I say, another way of saying it is, those are my people. When you see people that you're like the other, the otherness, they're the other. They're this, whatever label we have waiting for. They're this color, they're this religion, they're this group, they're quacks, they're this. They think different. I don't like them. Just tell yourself sometimes, those are my people. They're all your people. Because they are. And in the oneness of things, we look at things as separate from us. But really, if we were to look at things through a different prism, through a different microscope and other measurements, you say everything that's around us is on this one big continuum. Where it stops, where it starts, it's illusion. This is all one big continuum. We are all connected. It's just through our eyes and through this dimension, it doesn't seem that way. But if you change the measuring stick, you change how you're measuring it, you get on microscopic, subatomic level, it's all one big continuum. Oneness, literal oneness. And I think this is an important concept. I think that people, a lot of people don't like to think too much. Oh, you're thinking too much. You just want to play video games and take it easy. But I think that, it's like Plato said, the unexamined life is not worth living. I mean, this matters. I want my life to have meaning. I like thinking about these things. Oh, you overthink, Frank. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you put your brain power to think of better ways to do things and sit there and think and think and think and think of better ways to see people and want to improve? I have so many things about myself that I didn't like. As many things as I'm proud of, there's things I don't like. I'm like, I want to fix that. And that requires a lot of thought, a lot of energy. Thinking about thinking. And so the oneness, the deeper your understanding of the oneness, I think the deeper and more authentic your connection with other people, especially strangers. You'll be amazed at people right now that you shun, that you just have this vibe toward, like, leave me alone, you're not one of me, you're an other. And when you really deeply grasp that oneness, you'll start to embrace those people and they'll gravitate to you and you'll have a connection with them, and it will open doors to understand other people, to new relationships, new friendships, new possibilities, new expansion. Because you never know. I say that like we look at people and we so quickly judge, and I judge because I put a lot of stock in my intuition and the eyes. I'm an intuition first person and a heart driven person, so I put a lot of stock in that. But I often say, my brother and I talk about this, like he had seen a car accident and a bad accident, and all these people got stopped to help. It was like, a black guy, an Asian guy, a white guy, all these different people. You never know. We're so quick to judge people where they're an other, or they're less important, or they're not one of us. And in your greatest time of need, in a great emergency for you or someone you love, you don't know who will show up. Because you might not even get to make a call. It's just who is around and who's going to show up to help you, to save you maybe, to save someone you love. Who's going to do that? And we don't know. And it might surprise the living crap out of us. It might surprise us, the people that will give us the shirt off their back, the others. And when that happens, it's a reminder, the oneness. That's what the oneness is. And the more you feel it, the more deeply you're going to connect with other people. And I think that you're going to be a better version. I'm going to be a better version of myself when I can begin to master that.